People love to say dating after 60 is hard. I don't think it's hard. I think it's more like packing for a long trip. You can't bring your whole closet, and you're certainly not squeezing in every pair of shoes that you love. But if you're smart, you'll put together great outfits with what you do bring, and you'll discover that you didn't actually need half the stuff you thought was essential. That's where people mess up. They're chasing this fantasy of a perfectly packed suitcase relationship, every little thing folded, matched, and zipped up tight. Meanwhile, nobody gets to bring it all. The point isn't to have everything. The point is to have the right mix and to know how to work with it. And that's what dating smarter after 60 is all about. Because the people who burn out, they're the ones still trying to stuff their entire closet into a carry-on. Dating later in life comes with its own set of rules. So today we're breaking down how to date smarter over 60 without overpacking, without chasing perfection, and without losing sight of what actually makes a good match. That sounds at all interesting? I hope you'll stick around because that's what's on the agenda. In your 20s, dating feels like the farmer's market on a Saturday morning. Stalls everywhere, free samples everywhere, and if something doesn't look right, you just drop it back in the bin and keep on moving. No big deal. Over 60, dating feels more like walking into a boutique store. The shelves are a little smaller, the price tag's a little higher, and you probably should know what you're looking for because just browsing, not going to cut it really. By now you've lived through things, maybe marriages, divorces, long-term partnerships, kids, grandkids, health scares, job changes. Maybe you've lived enough to know that you can't waste a decade on the wrong person. This is why dating after 60 isn't about figuring it out together. That ship sailed when bell-bottoms were still fashionable. I think bell-bottoms are back in fashion. But at this stage, it's about finding somebody who fits into the life you've already built, or the one you're building. Too many people are still dating like they're 35. Fast timelines, over-investing in strangers, falling into the same cycle of big hopes, big letdowns, and then wondering why it's so exhausting. Here's the irony. By your 50s, you stop caring what strangers think. You go to the store for a quick errand in pajama bottoms and hair clipped up, no makeup, and you don't even blink. But the second you start dating, suddenly you're auditioning for world's most interesting person. You're signing up for salsa dancing, even though your knees sound like bubble wrap. You're agreeing to hikes when your idea of cardio is carrying the laundry upstairs. Meanwhile, your dream night is really all about sweatpants and a glass of wine, Netflix, a chair reclined so far back you look like you're waiting for dental work. The right person will be fine with that. What scares people off isn't the sweatpants. It's realizing you've built a relationship on a version of yourself that you can't maintain. That's why the dreaded getting comfortable phase feels like such a letdown. It's not comfort, it's the mask slipping. Dating smarter means putting the real you on the table from day one. Not the Instagram version or the aspirational one, just you. If that's not enough, well, it's better to find out over drinks than 6 months down the road. When I was a kid, I always wanted one of those giant checks. You know, the ones they deliver to your front door, ringing the bell like you just won the lottery. I mean, I think you did. It didn't matter to me, though, because I didn't even realize it meant thousands of dollars. I just wanted the big check. If you ever felt the same way, I just want to point out today is a special day. It's the day that you could become a channel member. I mean, I'm not going to be cutting you a check the size of a billboard, but depending on the membership that intrigues you, I could be giving you access to a live stream Q&A or a small group Zoom call, or maybe even something else that's not quite as cool as a check the size of your car, but still pretty special. Just you and me and a little extra connection, if you want it. Hit the join button down there and congratulations, you're a winner. All right, let's head on back, shall we? Whirlwind romance? That was fun when you were young. You'd meet on a Friday, practically move in by Monday, surviving on adrenaline and takeout. It worked, right? I mean, sometimes. But over 60, yeah, that's not romance. That's chaos. Crash landing, not fairy tale. You know better now, or you should. A slow burn doesn't mean dragging your feet. It means letting the relationship find its natural pace. It's watching how somebody acts when plans change last minute, and when the dog throws up at 2 a.m., when the airline loses you their luggage. That's real life. You're not racing to the altar. You're not merging two households before you know each other's middle names. You're not trying to make up for lost time at all. You're building something steady enough to last the time you have. And here's the gift of dating now. No ticking clock. You can actually just take your time. Most people over 60 aren't baggage free. If you don't have any, well then good for you. You made it through unscathed, and that's fantastic. But the real question here isn't whether you have it, it's how you carry it. Dragging your ex into every conversation, baggage. Making somebody pay for the mistakes of the last person, that's baggage. Assuming every argument means, ugh, you're just like my ex. That's the full Samsonite set, wheels included. Dating smarter means showing up as today's version of you, not the bruised version from 10 years ago. And let's be clear, if you're still bleeding from your last relationship, your breakup, you're not dating. You're hiring somebody to mop up your mess. And that's not romance. That's an unpaid internship. As a matchmaker, I am compelled to tell you the honest-to-goodness truth. In a really good relationship, you're going to get about 60% of what you want in a partner. Another 20% will be things you swore you'd never tolerate, but you do. And the rest, it's the surprise zone. Bonuses that you never even knew were on your list. This isn't settling. This is reality. Welcome to it. Hold out for somebody who checks every box, and you're going to be sitting at that singles table till the dessert menu. And even then, you might still be waiting. And it cuts both ways. You don't just get to demand the list. You have to live the list. You want kindness? Be kind. You want somebody active? Step away from your sofa. You want confidence? Build your own self-assurance. Dating gets a whole lot easier when you're already embodying the qualities that you're hoping to attract. Patience used to feel like a punishment. Now, it's your best weapon. Time is what shows you who somebody really is. It's easy to look good in candlelight with a fresh haircut, but who are they when the restaurant messes up the order, and when their phone dies on a road trip, or they disagree with you on something really important? Patience buys you clarity. It keeps you from blowing up your life or your bank account for somebody that you barely know. It also makes space for the good surprises, the things you could never really have predicted, but end up just loving. Slow isn't boring. Slow is how you actually see what you're signing up for. Dating smarter after 60 means dropping the fantasy. It means showing up as your real self and accepting that no relationship is ever going to be a perfect 100% match. 60% of what you truly need, 20% of what you never thought you'd tolerate, and that flexible zone of surprises. That's the sweet spot. And when you embrace that, you stop wasting time and chasing perfection, and you can actually start building a connection. I hope you found that interesting or helpful. If you did, you might enjoy this episode here. And hey, before you go, please give my little mama here the thumbs up. She thinks this channel is her retirement plan. And the more likes she sees, the more she tells people, see, they are here for me. Honestly, she might be right. Hey, while you're at it, please subscribe. Think of it as the lowest risk commitment you'll ever make. No moving boxes, no toothbrush in the bathroom, just a little click and you're in. I appreciate you hanging out with me today, and until next time, have a good one.